And hello everybody, and welcome into another episode of recapping the women's basketball in the Crossroads League. And we start off this video without further ado by talking about the first matchup of Saturday. Spring Arbor University traveled to Mount Vernon Nazarene University in a clash between the Cougars, and it was Spring Arbor being victorious in this game by a final score of 80-75. Spring Arbor improves to 14-6 overall, 7-3 in the Crossroads League. Meanwhile, Mount Vernon Nazarene falls to 12-8 overall and 4-6 in the Crossroads League. And for Spring Arbor, they had a really historic achievement by fifth-year senior Alana Nelson, who had a game-high 25 points, pardon me, and for her entire collegiate career, she has now gone over 2,000 career points, so absolutely amazing. And she transferred to Spring Arbor from Northwood University and had 482 points there in just 2 seasons. Now, just in her time at Spring Arbor, she has hit 1,533 points, and that puts her in 8th place all-time on Spring Arbor's all-time scoring list. So, man, hats off to Alana for that amazing achievement. And the next matchup for Spring Arbor will be hosting at home Wednesday night at 7 p.m. against number 17 Marion. So that should be a really exciting game, as Spring Arbor has already defeated one top 10 team this year, and that was St. Francis. So they're looking for their second-ranked win in league play. So that is, and meaning their second win in league play against a ranked opponent. They defeated number 10 St. Francis a couple weeks ago, and I believe it was last Saturday actually, in a major upset. And I don't want to tell you wrong, so let me double check that information. Pardon me, as my voice seems to be a little bit hoarse today, so I apologize for that. So yeah, it was last Saturday, with January 18th, with Spring Arbor upsetting then number 10 St. Francis 67-55. So we now transition to Saturday's games, and there was a lot to talk about in Saturday's games. And we had a lot of good matchups, and I talked about Spring Arbor and Mount Vernon just a minute ago to start off this recap video. And again, I will be recording the men's recap video from this past weekend tomorrow. And I mentioned in my previous video that I uploaded a few minutes ago that I will be changing platforms for recording these episodes. I will at least be trying out a new platform here not next week, but the following week, when I will be recapping the games from this coming Wednesday and Saturday. So I'll be recording that, or trying out that platform, probably next Monday, just to see how it goes. And if I have any issues, I will then come back here to YouTube to upload these recap videos, since that's really easy for me in case I have any issues on that other platform, which I alluded to all of that in my previous video. So if you go to my channel, look for the video title Matt's Sports Talk Update, and that will give you all the specific information of the new platform that I'm at least going to be trying out, and we'll give you information on how to follow me on that new platform. And I also talk about, in the event that that doesn't work out, that you can still stay tuned right here on YouTube for these video recaps. So recapping the next matchup from this past Saturday on the women's side, and again, as I alluded to a minute ago, I'll be recording the men's recap from this past Saturday tomorrow, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. So on Wednesday, the Grace College Lancers traveled to number 17 Marion, which was an extremely tall task. Marion ranked 17th in the country. Marion victorious in this game 78-43. Marion goes to 15-5 on the year overall, 8-2 in the Crossroads League. Meanwhile, for the Lancers, they fall to 9-11 overall and 2-8 in the Crossroads League. Grace struggled mightily as a team, 32% shooting from the floor, just 16% from three. Grace did really, really well at the free throw line, though. 90% on the day. They only missed one free throw when they went to the line 10 times. But a big story in this game was the turnovers. Grace turned the ball over 23 times. Marion scored 30 points off of Grace's 23 turnovers. Marion turned the ball over 10 times. Grace, on the other hand, just scored 4 points off those 10 turnovers. And Grace was outscored in the paint by 10, so really no surprise there from that game this past Saturday. Grace, meanwhile, shot 49% from the field, 42 from 3, just 50% at the line. Grace missed 5 free throws, so that's kind of uncharacteristic. Marion missed 5 free throws, so that's kind of uncharacteristic for them. And our next matchup, the Bethel Pilots traveled to Goshen to take on the Maple Leafs. Bethel was looking for the season sweep against the Maple Leafs. They defeated them at Bethel earlier on in the season, the second game of the regular season, I should say, November 23rd. Bethel victorious 67-65. Actually, I think that was actually the first night. Yeah, first night, November 20th. I stand corrected for that 2-point win for Bethel. And this game on Saturday was just as close. Bethel, though, did just a few points better than the first meeting, but they still won 67-62 behind Mariah Claywell's just unbelievable performance, as she had 18 points on the night, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, shot 9 of 15 from the floor. And Mariah Claywell is a junior this year, and she has played really, really well for head coach Scott Polsgrove. So very, very impressive performance there. And also somebody that shot the ball well was freshman guard Olivia Nickerson. 5 of 8 shooting, 3 of 5 from downtown, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Bethel, 52% shooting from the field, 40% from 3, 78 at the line. Meanwhile, for Goshen shot the ball a little bit worse, 44% from the field, which is still not bad, 33% from 3, and Goshen slightly better from the line at 80% on the night. And our next matchup, the St. Francis Cougars, number 10 in the country, traveled to Upland, Indiana to take on the Trojans of Taylor. Taylor led by 7 points at halftime, which was a huge, huge shot. At that point, St. Francis was 1 of 8 from downtown, but St. Francis had a big second half and was able to avoid the upset, won by 11 by a final score of 71-60. And St. Francis had a really good day, especially from Callie Gregory. Callie Gregory is a freshman guard, and she played really, really well. 8 of 12 shooting, 3 rebounds. Chloe McKnight, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 of 10 shooting, 1 of 6 from downtown, so kind of uncharacteristic for her. St. Francis shot 51 from the field, 33 from 3, 63 at the line. Meanwhile, for Taylor, Taylor shot 42% from the field, 44 from 3, 83% at the free throw line. So Taylor shot better at the line, but slightly worse from the field. And then our final matchup from Saturday, the Huntington Foresters traveled to Marion, Indiana to take on the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan. And this was a really, really good game. And I think a lot of people had just high expectations for this game because it was a barn burner at Huntington back on November 20th when the Wildcats squeaked out a very narrow 81-79 win against the Wildcats there, and that was just a fantastic finish back on November 20th. This game didn't turn out that way. The Wildcats, so tough at home, were able to get a 19-point win by a final score of 79-60. And I think, and a big part of Huntington's struggles was Huntington didn't shoot bad. They shot 41% from the field. Indiana Wesleyan, though, 44% from the field. So shooting was kind of even. 35% from three-point range for the Foresters, just 20% from three-point range for the Wildcats. So obviously, the Foresters shot way better from the three-point line. Foresters shot 88% at the free throw line. They only missed 2 free throws all game, and Indiana Wesleyan shot just 66% at the line and missed 6 free throws. That has been a huge, huge struggle for Indiana Wesleyan this year, is the free throw line. Now, the one positive thing, and really what the difference maker was in this game, Huntington turned the ball over 22 times, and Indiana Wesleyan scored 33 points off of Huntington's 22 turnovers. and that was pretty much, excuse me, the difference maker there. But I think another aspect of the outcome was Huntington was without sophomore guard/forward Kendall Yoakum, who has played really, really, really well for head coach Darby Maggard. And for Yoakum, she shot really, really good from three-point range this year, shooting about 35% on average, which really isn't all that bad. And she's shooting really good at the free throw line as well. So hopefully Huntington will be able to get her back as soon as possible. And obviously I hope that she will be okay and that she will be back playing here very, very soon, because she is a huge, huge key on offense for the Foresters. 6'1". You love to see her presence down low in the paint, and she's also has been able to block several shots this year too. So her defense in the paint has been absolutely phenomenal. But she does have that capability on offense to not only run the floor, but also shoot very well from inside the paint, drive right down the middle of the lane, or drive the baseline, or shoot a fadeaway jumper. She has those capabilities as well, but she can also shoot from downtown. And so obviously, if you're head coach Darby Maggard, you love to see that out of your sophomore guard/forward. So looking at the stats for Huntington, they had a decent performance led by sophomore center Liv Raby, 5 of 9 shooting, 14 points on the day. Let me see if I can double check that to see what she did. I just want to make sure that I have the proper that I have all the exact points scored. And let's see if I can find the official players. Actually, I might be able to. I apologize for not being able to pull up the official box score, but Liv Raby had an amazing performance. Had, I believe, 14 or 15 points on the day. 5 of 9 shooting, 3 of 4 at the line, 8 rebounds. Freshman Addie Shank, who has played absolutely phenomenal for the Foresters, 2 of 4 shooting, 8 rebounds in just 23 minutes of action. And senior Gabby Melby had an off day shooting from three-point range, but that happens to everybody. Every player always has a down game. 2 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3. Was a perfect 4 of 4 at the line with 3 rebounds, 5 assists. And Annika Nelson, 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. And sharpshooter sophomore Bailey Kellum, 3 of 9 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3. Perfect 2 of 2 at the line. We have 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. And meanwhile, for the Wildcats, they were led by redshirt junior Taylor Folkema, who had a career-high 32 points, and with her 31st and 32nd point of the game, she hit 1,000 for her career, so a huge congratulations to her. 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and Izzy Reed also had a decent day, 12 points, 5 of 11 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. On the night, Lily Frazier, 3 of 7 shooting, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. She, however, left the game at halftime with a wrist injury, and we we hope and pray that it's just a sprain and that she will be able to at least come back in the next couple of weeks because we obviously Indiana Wesleyan needs her, and you love her offense, you love her defense, and she's just playing phenomenal, so we hope she's back as soon as possible. Pardon me. And so those are your official game recaps. On the women's side from Saturday, and again, tomorrow I will be recording a men's video recapping those games from Saturday, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. And previewing the upcoming matchups for this Wednesday, Taylor will be traveling to Mount Vernon Nazarene on Wednesday. That game will be at 5 p.m. The Foresters of Huntington will be traveling to Mishawaka, Indiana to take on the Pilots of Bethel. That will be a 5:30 p.m. start. The Maple Leafs of Goshen will be traveling to Fort Wayne to take on the Cougars of St. Francis. That is also a 5:30 start. Marion will be at Spring Arbor, so Marion will be taking the long drive up Interstate 69 from Indianapolis to Spring Arbor, Michigan to take on the Cougars. That will be a 7 p.m. start. The men's game will be the same two teams, but will be a 5 p.m. start. And then the last matchup on the women's side, Wednesday night at 5:30 p.m., will be Indiana Wesleyan in Winona Lake to take on the Lady Lancers of Grace College. So those are your preview for the games on Wednesday. So lastly, taking a look at the updated standings going into the games on Wednesday, Indiana Wesleyan 10-0 in conference, 20-0 overall. Indiana Wesleyan has won their most amount of games since both the 2006/2007 season, when they went a perfect 38-0 and won the national championship. The only other season where Indiana Wesleyan has started out this good was 2012/2013, when the Lady Wildcats went 35-3, and they also won the national championship that year. So maybe this is the third national championship year for the Wildcats, since past history tells us that they did win the national championship the last two times. They started off with at least 20 straight wins. So obviously there's a long way to go in the season, 8 more games in the regular season, potentially 3 games in the league tournament, and then hopefully at least the first two rounds of nationals, and hopefully beyond that. So that should be really, really exciting. St. Francis remains the 2 seed, 18-2 overall, 8-2 in the Crossroads League. Marion, the 3 seed, 15-5 overall, 8-2 in league play. St. Francis, though, holding that head-to-head tiebreaker over the Knights. Spring Arbor is solely the 4 seed at 14-6 overall, 7-3 in the Crossroads League. They are still a perfect 8-0 at home, so really, really amazing to see that. And sitting in 5th place right now is Mount Vernon Nazarene out of Ohio. They are 12-8 overall, 4-6 in the Crossroads League. Huntington Foresters, are the 6th seed at 11-9 overall, 4-6 in the Crossroads League. 8-3 at home, but 3-5 on the road. So the Foresters desperately needing some key road wins in the last 8 games of the regular season. And Mount Vernon, though, holding the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Foresters, so that's why Mount Vernon is 5th and Huntington is 6th. And then sitting in 7th is the Bethel Pilots, 10-10 overall, 3-7 in the Crossroads League. Bethel, of course, tied with Goshen at 3-7 in conference, but Bethel holding the head-to-head tiebreaker since they swept the Maple Leafs this year. And the Maple Leafs sitting in 8th place, the last team in the Crossroads League. If the playoffs started now, the Maple Leafs will be the last team in. 3-7 in league play, 9-10 overall. Grace 1 game out of the playoffs right now, 9-11 overall, 2-8 in the Crossroads League. Grace is 5-3 at home, 4-7 though on the road. So that's obviously really, really important, having a better record at home, especially going into the game on Wednesday against the Wildcats of Indiana Wesleyan. And then the Taylor University Trojans still in last place, 2 games out of the playoffs, 6-14 overall, 1-9 in the Crossroads League. So those are your updated standings right now going into the next round of games on Wednesday. And I alluded to, I'll be recording the men's recap video tomorrow as well, recapping the games from Saturday, and then I will be recapping the games from Saturday, or from Wednesday night and Saturday. I'll be uploading those Monday and Tuesday. And again, as I alluded to in my previous video, I'll either be uploading them on the new platform that I'm going to try, or if that doesn't work out, I will still be uploading those right here on YouTube as well. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up ahead, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, if you did, please like this video or leave me a comment down below. Your feedback is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thanks so much, and have a blessed week.